This title is narrated with virtual voice, computer-generated narration for audiobooks. Nudity in the Great Outdoors by Kristin Williams. Introduction. All right, let's just get this out of the way. Yes, I've been naked outside. A lot. And I mean a lot. If you're reading this, you're probably thinking, why on earth would anyone want to be naked in the outdoors? And trust me, I've asked myself the same question at least 100 times, mostly while I'm standing there, naked as the day I was born, in some ridiculously awkward situation. But here's the thing. There's something magical about being naked in nature. Something freeing. Like, the second you strip away those layers of clothing, you shed all the other layers too. The anxiety, the self-doubt, the awkward conversations with strangers about your weird tan lines. And sure, maybe I've accidentally gotten stuck in trees, or gotten an embarrassing sunburn in places I didn't know I could get sunburn. But hey, I've learned a lot about myself along the way. Let's be clear, this is not a book about finding enlightenment while naked in the woods. It's not about spiritual awakenings, unless you count the time I nearly gave myself a heart attack after almost being caught by a group of Boy Scouts. No, this is a book about unfiltered adventures, unplanned mishaps, and a lot of moments where I thought, well, this is the most embarrassing thing I've ever done, but at least I'll have a great story to tell. Spoiler alert, I always do. Some of these stories are about my attempts at finding peace and freedom in nature, like that time I tried naked yoga in the forest, big mistake. Others are about those unfortunate moments where my nudity didn't exactly go as planned, like when I tried to go skinny dipping and ended up needing a rescue mission. And yes, there's also that one time I went streaking in a national park under the stars, thinking I was some kind of free spirit, until I realized I was basically the only person who thought it was a good idea. So, if you've ever found yourself questioning the universe, your clothing choices, or whether or not you should actually be naked in public, this book is for you. Because trust me, I've been there, and it turns out the answer is often, why the hell not? Grab a towel, because you'll probably need one, and join me as I relive all of my most ridiculous, hilarious, and absolutely naked moments in the great outdoors. I promise you'll laugh, cringe, and maybe even wonder what could possibly go wrong next. Spoiler. It's usually a lot. And remember, being naked outside isn't just about shedding your clothes. It's about shedding all your dignity and embracing the chaos. Let's do this. The skinny dip that turned into a rescue mission. It all started with a simple, innocent thought. Why not go skinny dipping? I know what you're thinking, Kristin. What in the world made you think skinny dipping in the middle of nowhere was a good idea? And to be honest, I have no great answer for that. Sometimes, life just pushes you into situations without warning, and before you know it, you're standing at the edge of a lake, naked as the day you were born, staring at the water with a strange mixture of excitement and dread. But back to the beginning. It was a hot summer day. The kind of day where the sun beats down relentlessly, and no matter how much you drink, you can't seem to get cool enough. I was at a cabin in the middle of nowhere with Tanya and Susan, two of my closest friends, who always seem to get me into trouble. We'd been spending the day lounging around in swimsuits, but after a few hours of lounging by the lake, the heat just became too much to bear. I can't take this anymore, Tanya exclaimed, swatting away a few lazy flies as she adjusted her sunglasses. I need to cool off. I looked at her, unsure of what she meant by that, but then she stood up, stretched, and looked out at the shimmering lake. I'm going in, she declared dramatically, pointing at the water. Yeah, that sounds nice, but I'm good with just sitting here, I replied, trying to avoid the overwhelming urge to follow her. I was definitely not one for spontaneous swims, especially not the kind.
Para seguir escuchando este audiolibro gratuitamente, haz clic en el enlace de la descripción y podrás escucharlo completo sin coste gracias a la prueba de 30 días de Audible.